Hello, I've been asked to show you or explain how I do my cuts when I'm doing herringbone. And to do it, I use the TX710. This, to me, is the best cutter for doing 45s because of the rotating square. So basically, once you've got it set up square as you would normally have it, you just release this locking catch, bring it round to 45, depress that till it sits in solid, reapply the catch. That's it, it's set at 45. If it's slightly out, you just put it back into the square, undo this little locking nut and move this to your square, and then lock it back up, then move it back to 45 and it'll be bang on 45. This one's already done because I use it every day. Right, so I've marked up my tile that I want to cut at that angle at 45. It's pretty simple. Line it up with my marks there, slide the gauge over, lock the gauge. And by the way, this is a extreme wheel, which is the best wheel by far. Hold it down with your arm because this tile cutter is not really meant for small tiles. It's, you know, so just stabilise it, scribe, bring it away from the bar, back there, cut. Job done. 45 degree, straight down my 45 degree line. That's that. Now the only other problem I've seen with these, which is not really a problem once you know how to get over it, is if you've got, say for instance you want a small cut like this, and you've got loads of different offcuts, but you want this cut every time. So you can't really line it up like that, because if all the cuts are different sizes, setting the gauge against that is not going to be correct. So the best, and if you put it that way round, put the gauge in, gauge doesn't reach. So what you're going to do, pretty simple. Get one of the tiles you're using, line the marks up where you want it, put the full tile in, line it up on your marks, set the gauge in against the full tile. Now you can scribe, bring it away from the bar, break, and then another piece, different size tile, hold that, in it goes, scribe, bring it away from the bar, great, perfect cut. So basically all you're using this tile for is to extend the gauge. Apart from that, this is definitely, I've got the TS40, what I use for smaller tiles like project tiles when I'm doing kitchens, and I've also got the TZ1300 for obviously large format tiles. But this cutter with the rotating square is by far the best tile cutter I've used anyway. Well, I've only ever used Ruby, so this is by far the quickest way to do any size tiles, regardless of the size, even if they're smaller than these. This is the tile cutter that just saves you so much time on doing herringbone, which is by far the hardest pattern. I mean, I've been doing it for 40 years, and every time I do it, it never gets any easier. It's always just as tricky, and it's mainly down to the cut. So something that speeds the cutting process up like this is a game changer. All right, so I hope that's helpful. Cheers.